Hello, everyone. So, in the relatively famous Frozen parody, wherein the girl sings the lyrics of Frozen after it has gone through several layers of Google Translate, she mentions at the beginning that her high school friends came up with the idea of putting famous works of literature through several layers of Google Translate, and I figured, hey, I can steal that idea and use it for myself to achieve perhaps greater renown and fame, and also entertain the masses. So, without further ado, I present to you The Telltale Heart by Edgar Allan Poe, after several layers of Google Translate. It is true, this nerve is very nervous subject. I am very wrong. Why do they say angry, but we wonder why? Does not delay disease is damaging the edge of my emotions? Among others was a good cake. I heard all things in the heavens and the earth. I heard a lot of hell. How are angry? Listen! And what a story how you handle the health monitoring. This thought crossed my mind, but what is a ghost who cannot be the first to say day or night, or you have an idea? It always works. I am not disappointed. I loved the old man. I insult there. I am offended. There was no envy or gold mind. I think his eyes. Yes, it is. Eagles like many movies in one eye, blue eyes. Cool slowly with the lives of the elderly, but decided there every time I dropped my eyes, my blood. Well, here it is. How can deceive the loco consciousness? However, we can see that what you farce. His murder before I go to work in the reference forecast. Weak. They are very good at midnight every night so you can see I. As to the motion, bit, age, I, now. I can sleep well, the found set, the latch, and the open door, oh! And all closed, close enough to be put in a dark light. I had to find a long slow with turbo and slow. Oh, my head, I would have laughed, light does not shine enough, he, as you can see. I have a full head, can be slept in my bed, that looks like an essay in andro time, since the it took, that will soon be wise decision mad. Attention then completely, hinges creaking sound, can be dropped into the eye of the eagle ray of light that I have, but is so right to me. When the well head of the room for a long time, in the returned light source 0.7 days at midnight, exactly what? Every night. But I noticed that his eyes were closed all day. Ages bothering me is this, not the voice of the devil cannot herd the snow. Broke the morning sun I talk. He asked the night shift with him freely go boldly in the name of the voice volume in the chamber, and he suspected that you see in any case. So, for 12 every night, he will be very long to me. On the 8th night, he was more cautious time of obicy dart minutoral. I left the door open near future. Never before that night, chips next to his. I felt only the size of the force. I felt that I can have up to win. I am without him, the thoughts and actions of my secret dreams. And I think even I opened the door slowly as he jumped surprise, smiling at the thought. Suddenly, I heard more on the bed. Now you may have thought you could not by their own. Tall, dark, i.e. panic attack, storage near the door. I thought that dark room. I can see that it is possible to open the door, that I pushed on time. I tried to open the tin lantern sides. My elder finger rose. I jump on my bed head and principles. Quotation marks. We had always had enough to say anything is. I did not move, and you, however, cannot be a lie to me all the time. I'm dying to see once the wall bed, listen to the night sitting on pure bread. At this point, I do not know, you can hear the sighing moan of fear of death. There were cries of pain and suffering, and if higher the reduction of the same of the depth of the resulting spirits were. I knew that voice. Many were in the middle of the night, and the night sleep all the terrible fear. I went on my own strength in the small cross. I knew him well, say he is. I laughed in my mind, but I know that the old man felt sorry. I' stood for the time I was a little noise in bed now, because I grew up afraid I was still. He did not like the results, and do not say, "This is a song from the days of cricket. This is nothing like a chimney and mouse downwind." Yes, it is said, told him not to treat. Both are free to use the home console discovered nothing, and the black shadow approaching his victim was involved in the persecution and before his death. Feel the presence of my head in the room. He found it to be a shadow, even though I did not see or hear the stand Consul Saya Grust know. You do not listen to hers, in this case to be serious. I am very, very small flashlight crack eye. So in secret with spider silk, one beam to hide the eagle eye of a reduced slot as I discovered, to the last I cannot decide. Mitsumio is opened in exposure to increased anger. If I do not have great instincts, cold chain, thermal load, rough sailing, I am an old man in front of other people or curse, depending on the exact location. Nothing that cannot be seen. A good definition of blue opaque reference. Now, I am not crazy. I mean the clarity of the tricks, I'm not saying that uncomfortable. In case of failure, for example, the light is not immediately come to see the sound within the air. It took the side, I knew that voice. It was the heart of the old. Drumbeat increased my fury as the brave soldier. Situation is. However, in front of me. I know that most day to rest. Torch or had the power. If you have a line of hearing this, I have tried from time to time. On the other hand, an open heart tattoo like hell. Come on, when I am big. Extreme fear that old, but I mean every time there's a surge of power is a good horse. Tell me why I care. Yeah, I think. And the awful silence of the house in the middle of the night. Now, old fears that cannot be controlled due to the strange noise component. But after a few minutes, I will be able to winter. But he had one more. I thought the heart must burst. And you can hear the neighbors now require new problem. With the 3 men here. What open black ramp, games, and room sounds right after that time. Whether the road floor, I pulled the heavy bed over him. Certificates I see so far. I have been able to laugh with joy. Nevertheless, the minutes online, a lot of people excited, broken. However, this concerned citizens. Penetrate the wall. Was arrested in length is. The old man died. Removed the bed and saw the body. Yeah, I put my hand bricks in his mind. He is killed by a brick. He spent several minutes. In fact, no pulse. He died. The bigger problem for me is the eyes. If you think I'm mad when I still use reasonable precautions to hide your body, I cannot believe you. Quickly, but you can reduce the work quietly at night. The 3rd layer, including all size we ordered. I see no problem, not replace the technology table, even if it's possible because the human eye, she is very clever. Types of blood samples is not had nothing to wash the dust free, so when I was very careful. From you at night, I leave at 4 at the end of his career is still dark. I rang the bell when you hit the front door and went to them. I am now afraid of the light due to open heart shape. As a police officer, you go on chewing gum than 3 people skills. Neighbors heard cries during the night. The claims of error are excited. I members, agents, are able to access information easily, and I was represented by the police. I smiled. So afraid of? Asked Mr. Friendly. I cried and I was told in a dream. Like I said, my friend is not a country. At home, I had my visit. We had booked through research. Room height I am. His independence, it has shown that it is safe. In any case, the large sight in the body, the excitement of my faith. I want to take the victim to a chair in the living room. When it breaks the fatigue, launch a full conquest of nature. The manager is happy. I had to convince them. He was his own. The reaction was interesting, talking to the people I know, Sam. However, I realized that I can open before. While I say, I have stopped dreaming of playing in my head hurts heard pause. It is certainly clear that I click continue, will speak more freely, but get rid of the feeling, get found that may arise from definitiveness, rose in ear research. Anyway, I'm bigger and much more comfortable in talk, was now very pale. But can you do to increase a sound die? I am now got maion, low noise, and long to be bored when full. I stopped breathing and the workers are not immune. Refers to the last column. However, the increase in noise level. I, if necessary, in more details violent gesture. However, the increase in noise level. Why do you not go, step on the floor, and watched as he meets regularly bought to anger people noise? God, what can I do? She told Mousy, I swear! Mixing the chair he was sitting and grated on the card, however, has brought help to grow the sound often. This very big, I was very, and people laugh pleasantly story. For them and I've been doing. Allah! No, no, no! I thought, what? Irony is the fear. They are! I know! I suspect! See, I think there was no better than death. Than what I had allowed this mockery. I had to smile there most hypocritical. I scream or die. And now again, I feel the sound. Forte! 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 I can see extraction, mix of such a board, heartbeat here for the American thriller, yes! You bastard! Currencies! That was wonderful. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did.